What is your hahaha? Oh wait, your serious moment? Started a new job in a company where my boss worked in 2 different offices. He wrote himself a note on legal paper. He handed it to me and told me to fax it to the other office. Then he told me to call them and tell them to put it on his desk there so he could have it tomorrow when he arrived. I smiled because I thought he was playing a joke on the new guy. He was not. He loves faxing. Let the man fax. Dude, I fucking love sending faxes. I have to do it to reach out to some government agencies for my job. It's so exciting. I love sending it out a fax into the great unknown. Then you wait and pray for the fax confirmed message. Oh, so satisfying. Now it's time to wait. It could be another 5 minutes or it could be 5 days until I get a response. But boy oh boy, it's so exciting when you get a response. The clicks, the bleeps. Ugh, I might actually miss work. Waking up from general anesthesia. One of the nurses by my hospital bed gently informs me that my heart had stopped while I was under. I thought I was dreaming for a while, and didn't take it seriously. Then my dad showed up, and I saw the panic on his face. Then I phoned my mum, and she had obviously been crying her eyes out. Then I took it seriously. Damn, that's crazy. What were you in for, and how are you doing now? Someone once said to my friend, wait, you're Chinese? I always thought you were Asian. I actually have a very similar story. One time this girl asked me if I was Chinese or Asian, and I was confused, so I was just like, Asian. Because it was more general. And then she was like, oh, okay. So what part of Europe is Asia? We were 15. Are you me? I've had someone ask me the same question. This was a few years ago. I forgot how the topic was brought up, but I clearly remember my older sister saying, there aren't any modern buildings in Egypt, just pyramids. Well, that's why the pyramids are so big. They have to house the whole Egyptian population. How old was your sister? When I was in high school, I received a message over MSN from a buddy saying, Mitch is dead. Thinking he got into trouble, I responded with, hahaha, what did he do? It turns out, he had a brain aneurysm while driving home from school. Yeah, I don't blame you for answering that way. Who sends an MSN message to break that kind of news? I got back from working abroad, logged onto Instagram and saw a post from one of my friends where they'd all gone out together and the picture was captioned RIP Hainsey. That was a sick night. I wrote a comment saying, haha, what happened to Hainsey? Did he married or something? I didn't know he had passed away a couple of days before and they all went out to remember him. Because he was in one of the photos, I didn't get the context at all. Shitty way to find out one of your friends died. Someone wanted to euthanize their dog because when she was put outside alone in heat, she found a chihuahua and had ugly puppies that cost a breeding session. When we asked what that had to do with anything, he said the chihuahua's sperm is forever inside of her and can make those ugly puppies instead of the purebred. This dog was definitely not a purebred. When we said that things don't work that way, he said, I know for a fact they do. That's why my daughter is half N-word. N-word, raped my wife back when she was in her 20s and his sperm stayed inside her until mine activated it. And we all know, sperm is more violent, so it won. He was serious. I think that is the single most fucked up thing in this whole thread. That guy should be on a fucking watch list for real. Co-worker was telling me the world was flat. I'd never met a real flat earther in the wild before that. I had the same reaction when one of my close friends told me she's a flat earther. Took me a month of listening to her rant about it for me to realize she was being serious. Same. Co-worker legit believed the earth was flat. I asked how about GPS, satellites, and rockets work. He told me that it's a lie created by NASA on behalf of Satan. Then I learned not only is he a flat earther, but he's also a creationist Christian who believed that the earth was created 7k years ago. I asked a co-worker with what his son's name was, and he answered Legolas. After 2 seconds of laughing I realized he wasn't laughing. His son is actually named Legolas. Same here. I met a little boy named Merlin and kinda insulted his parents with my reaction. My principal's last name is Knight, and after I wore a Star Wars t-shirt to work one day, I'm a teacher, she came up to me and told me her son's name is Jedi. Jedi Knight. Others confirmed she was serious. As a giant nerd, I think it's actually kind of awesome though lol. I once worked with a 50-some-year-old guy at my first job, who also happens to be a former crackhead. I added in that detail because his mannerisms and communication were clearly affected by his prior drug use, and he would sometimes laugh when he was telling serious stories. One day he was telling me a story about him accidentally setting fire to the woods when he was trying to cremate his dead pet frog when he was a little boy. I was laughing my ass off, strangely so was he, until he looked me dead in the eye, with a face that's as serious as they get, and says I'm still not over it. I knew that look and knew he was actually being serious despite being in absolute hysterics with me while telling his story. I immediately felt like an asshole. He was cool about it though, thankfully lol. So he wasn't fibbing then? Laugh when telling serious stories. I do this often. I've always suspected I was probably dropped on my head a few times as a kid. My estranged auntie sending me a message to disinvite me to my, sick but alive, father's funeral because, wait for it, I had lunch with my little half-brother and sister, and that is disrespectful to my father. My father never let me and half-siblings meet before this lunch had occurred, and by meeting them, he disowned me. Literally, that's it. Just my fucked up family. Should have had only one lunch. Sorry about that. A random dude told me I'm girly because I know how to make scrambled eggs. Edit, thanks for the gold. I guess you don't know how to make scrambled eggs, kind stranger. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.